Thanks. Anybody have a question for the team?
So you're talking about like a nuance, like toggle thing. Why wouldn't the nuance thing like always be on? It's
So what do you mean? So you're
So-
Right?
the stealth mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so I tried to touch on that. Are you
Well,
talking
like, I
the
was
drone?
talking
The
kind of
drone.
about stuff, but also like it's because like I think you said that was for in case the operator or like police officers make an error, right? Or no?
So if the AI makes, if the AI makes an error,
Or maybe
Or
just
report-
explain the nuance thing again, because I was
explain that.
Okay.
maybe slightly confused.
So a good example of why they would need to add nuance. So if there is a report, okay, we know that there is a weapon on scene with a suspect. Okay, but through the humans able to pick up on subtleties, they can see, oh, maybe it's not an actual real weapon. Maybe it's like a water gun, maybe it's like a black, BB gun, whatever. And so adding that nuance to like, oh, let's convey doubt about this part of the notes. Or maybe we are conveying doubt over like the suspect age or the suspect blah, blah, blah. So that's where I mean, add nuance, but why they would be out of our scope is because the notes app is separate from the map. And so that's not really in our scope.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was just wondering, you said that you guys got rid of the control for the drones for the first responders. I was just wondering if there's a way to gain control of the drone just in case it goes haywire, like a safety net feature.
Okay, yeah, so that's what, yeah, so that's where we're convinced that we obviously needed something control of the drone because, going haywire, you don't want that. So there would have to be a stop thing or also a pause, be like, okay, the drone don't do anything for 5 minutes, but definitely a stop. Yeah, so that's definitely something that we have. Yeah, that's good enough.
So I just had a quick question. I know I remember I think we seeing some of this project last semester. I wasn't necessarily exactly what you guys did, but is there anything you guys took from last semester's projects and kind of incorporated into your designs?
I would say the points of interest is kind of similar to what they did last year, which is this, where it gives you short descriptions generated by the AI to quickly send to the officer for the dispatcher to know. So I would say this is pretty similar to what they did last year. This part right here.
Initially, I was also curious. I know the military also kind of uses UAVs, drones, swords. You guys doing sort of a comparative analysis on that as well, or that's considered?
So the drones can be used in that respect, and maybe Socian drones in the future. We can't touch on that for legal reasons, but that is an area we looked at anything from construction. So the mapping, the drones are used in construction to map all these areas. They're used for fires. We didn't really, because it's a military, so there's not much information that's put out about military drones. So that didn't really help us, but we used other areas.
Yeah, so I was just hoping you could elaborate a little bit since you're talking a lot about your purpose was to talk about nothing. I'm just curious where the AI chat comes in, and how that exactly plays into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the AI chat is mainly for so when the drone goes through the course or its flight paths or a place that it needs to go to that there's an incident for, the drone will send messages to the 911 operator to tell them that, hey, I think you need to send out 3 police troops and 2 firefighter ladders. So the drone has that capability of letting the operator know what troops or who needs to be sent out so the situation can get diffused. So that's kind of where the AI report came in, but we were debating whether to have a chatbot feature as well. So the operator can communicate with the drone while it's flying and seeing all of these. Does that make sense?
Just to add on to that, I think we were thinking about the chat just to give people some sort of control over the drone. So if you wanted to say, which was one of the examples, like avoid the elementary school. Like the drone might not know to do that, so having the ability as a dispatcher to be like, please do this to the drone was something we were looking into. Any other-
Yep. Any other questions? I don't know how much time we have.
We have plenty of.
Plenty of time. We're going out to dinner or with Mark, our sponsor, so we're excited about that. But any other questions? So the question we have is like, where should we go out to eat?
Triple X.
Triple X? Okay, that's a good
That's
idea.
always a pretty big.
And it's close, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback.
In the hub.
The what?
It used to be Agarastu, and now it's something else, the Robert Place thing.
Okay,
It's like right next to it.
okay, we'll do competitive analysis on that.
Crisco's is also pretty cheap too.
Which,
Crisco's is by,
Crisco's.
it's like on Salisbury Street. That is.
okay. With three, yep.
What was like probably the most fun or interesting element of this project?
But unless anyone else has the most fun aspect. Any fun? Okay, so, no,
No fun.
we had fun. We had fun, okay? Going to the dispatchers were really nice. And so doing the dispatcher tour early on was really good at realizing, okay, what are we dealing with? Like to understand the CAD process, which is computer aided dispatch. And so actually being in the dispatch room and seeing like a lady just like sitting in a chair and like they're having a TV on and stuff, that was interesting. What other fun aspect?
Just learning about drones in general.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of secondary research that kind of didn't really help us in the end, but a lot of early on we did secondary research that was interesting, just learning about drones, because there's a lot of stuff you can different aspects of drones that are being implemented in the future and that you can imagine will make a difference. That's vague, but yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, so did you guys test solutions out? Because what I'm thinking is certain changes to the UI might could potentially have like really big effects because they're used to these outdated systems, like for example air traffic control. They're used to seeing things in a certain way, and if you change them, it could have like life altering consequences.
Yes, yeah.
So what were some of the
Okay, so that was that's why we went to, where is it? The concept testing with a dispatcher. Okay, so this guy, Jason Timmons, he was super helpful. So we went to him and said, like, if this map were replace your current day map in your existing scenario, like what problems might you have with that? And that's where we learned about problems like with the notes being like, okay, that's not exactly tied together. That's where we learned about like the status of the police units. Like, what is this police unit doing? They know what that police unit doing from their second screen, but we'd be visually conveying it on like our main screen. So learning about things like that. So yeah, we did a Zoom call with him, and then we shared all our designs and he had a lot of feedback.